So, da sind wir. Schönen guten Tag, liebe Leute. Herzlich willkommen zu dem Livestream. Und zwar, heute schauen wir uns der Podcast oder Interview, ist kein Interview, das letzte Video von David Icke, wo er über die außerirdischen erzählt. Ich habe deutsche Untertitel, endlich. Von daher, hallo, guten Morgen, guten Tag, wirklich guten Mittag. Und zwar, dann, hallo. Ich mach mal das Video an, schnell, ohne Momento. Wir gucken zusammen. Zack. Und wir diskutieren.
Hello and welcome to the iconic .connect, the news show. Well, all these decades I've been ridiculed for saying that human society is being manipulated by a non-human force. Laugh? What? I thought they'd never stop. And now, this week, we've had hearings on Capitol Hill where witnesses from the military have come along and said, oh, it looks like we're being visited by a non-human force. And the media have been all over it. Same media that just laughed and ridiculed and dismissed. And I haven't looked that closely, but I don't see an apology anywhere, not just to me, but for all those other people going way back who've been trying to show people that actually there's something going on in terms of craft that, on the face of it, is beyond anything that humans have. I say on the face of it, I'll come to that. So I should be sitting here really saying, I told you so, I told you, but I'm not, because what's happening is a monumental scam with the ultimate goal of using it as an excuse to transform human society. Now, do aliens exist? Aliens, as they're called. Well, of course they do. But they're not coming. The Martians are coming. No, they're not coming. They've been here for eons, manipulating human society through a global secret society network that I call the global cult. I wrote a book in the late 90s, came out I think 1998, called The Biggest Secret. Secret societies, why are they there at all? To keep secrets. And at the inner core, one of the biggest secrets, in fact, in terms of human manipulation, the biggest secret, is that what we call human society has all along been manipulated from another dimension of reality through this global cult. Now, I remember what it used to be like when you were talking about this stuff. It was all refusal to even listen. It was official denial. It was official Oh, don't be silly. Oh, no. Non-human craft, it's a weather balloon. And so it went on, decade after decade after decade. And then, suddenly, in recent times, the approach, the atmosphere, the mood has dramatically changed. The question I'll come to is why? And UFOs, unidentified flying objects, have now morphed into UAPs, or unidentified anomalous phenomena. And we've gone from all those denials, oh, you're mad, you are, to the military releasing footage like this.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is LNS, dude. Well, if there's a thing, it's rotating.
So again, the question, why, after that blanket denial, are they now suddenly taking it all very seriously? We have earnest politicians asking earnest questions. Could there be aliens visiting us? Well, I'm sure a lot of them are genuine. They would like to know. But, you know, you can tell a lot by who's doing what. And so we have this guy in America, a senator, Chuck Schumer. When this man's lips move, and I mean every time, the global cult is speaking. So I was very interested to see this headline: Non-Human Intelligence, Schumer proposes stunning new UFO legislation. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, along with a bipartisan group of 5 other senators, introduced extraordinary legislation suggesting that the US government or private contractors may secretly possess recovered UFOs and, quote, biological evidence of living or deceased non-human intelligence. According to the legislation, non-human intelligence is defined as any sentient, intelligent, non-human life form, regardless of nature or ultimate origin, which may be presumed responsible for UFOs. Now, if Chuck Schumer wants to push through legislation on this subject to open the books, then the cult wants to do that. So why? Given the decades-long stigma, this article says, associated with the UFO topic, such stunning language is not included in bipartisan congressional legislation on a mere whim, let alone proposed by the Senate's top lawmaker. No, it's not. It's done because the global cult wants this information out for its own reasons. According to Schumer, the sheer number and variety of UFO-related claims led some in Congress to believe that the US government was concealing important information regarding UAPs over broad periods of time. And then, if Schumer speaks, the cult is speaking, we've had this guy, John Kirby, the National Security Council spokesman. When Kirby speaks, the cult is speaking. UFOs impacting Air Force training, White House spokesman John Kirby says. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby acknowledged during a press conference that unidentified flying objects, UFO, and unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, or anomalous phenomena, are creating difficulties for the US Air Force. Asked if increased sightings of UFOs and UAPs are perceived as a legitimate issue for the Biden administration, Kirby explained that the administration is taking the reported sightings seriously. Ooh, suddenly, it's serious. It's not a joke anymore. Why? Yeah, I mean, he said, we wouldn't have stood up an organization at the Pentagon to analyze and try to collect and coordinate the way these sightings are reported if we didn't take it seriously. No, you've set it up, mate, as part of the scam that's unfolding to give the impression of an alien threat when they've already been here all along, so that you can transform human society, or your masters can. So there's John Kirby. He lies for a living. That's what all these spokesmen do, and spokespeople. And then we come to the notorious cult bloodline, the Mellons, that operate out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And a former defense official from the Mellon family, Christopher Mellon, says the US has recovered technology that, quote, did not originate on this earth. Anyone notice the theme here? Mellon said America may have in our possession off-world technology recovered from someone else's space program. The 65-year-old served as Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence in the Clinton and Bush administrations. All right, I'll take you bloody seriously. You tell the truth, right? In 2020, rather, he admitted he was the secret source who provided the New York Times with the 3 UFO videos it famously published in 2017. And government officials have apparently disputed.
Ja, Leute, so läuft das hier, ja? Also wir lachen uns über die Clintons, oder ich lache über die Clintons, und dann fängt es ja an mit der Technik. Hör jetzt auf. Unfassbar, unfassbar. Und es liegt natürlich nicht an dem Internet, wie ihr seht hier. Man kann ja halt eigentlich weiter gucken. Es liegt nicht an dem Internet. Ich finde das absolut gruselig, dass jedes Mal, wenn ich solchen Themen anschnalle, geht das Stream kaputt. Oh, ist das ganze Livestream jetzt auf einmal unterbrochen oder wie? Das ist Wahnsinn. Wahnsinn. Sehr interessant. Unfassbar. Und es liegt natürlich nicht an dem Internet, wie ihr seht hier. Könnt ihr bitte in einem Chat schreiben, ob ihr mich hört und seht? Großartig. Absolut großartig. Ich denke, jetzt ist wieder gut. So. Dann machen wir nämlich weiter.
Including the Pentagon's Sean Kirkpatrick. But this is what Mellon said just before the hearings.
I've been told that we have recovered technology that did not originate on this earth by officials in the Department of Defense and by former intelligence officials. I've referred some of those officials to the office that's undertaking this investigation. Dave is another one of those individuals. He's decided to go public with his information. So there are credible people, and we have a direct conflict here between what Dr. Kirkpatrick is saying and what these other folks are saying, and Congress is in the middle, and they got to sort it out.
So officialdom wants you to go down the road of aliens visiting the earth. And so we come to these hearings this week on Capitol Hill before a House Oversight Committee. And the three witnesses from the military were Ryan Graves. He's a US Navy F-18 pilot, or has been. David Grush, a former high-ranking intelligence officer who originates in Pittsburgh, and the retired Navy commander David Fravor, who witnessed the so-called Tic Tac UFO in 2004. So before I get into what the hell's going on, this is what they said, or some of what they said at the hearings when questioned by the politicians.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
Biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
We arrived at the location at approximately 20,000 feet in a controller called merge plot, which means that our radar blip was now in the same resolution cell as the contact. As we looked around, we noticed that we saw some whitewater off our right side. It's important to note that the weather on this day was as close to perfect as you could ask for off the coast of San Diego. Clear skies, light winds, calm seas, no whitecaps from waves. So the whitewater stood out in a large blue ocean. All four of us, because we were in F-18Fs, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat, looked down a small, saw a white tic-tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water like a ping pong ball. There were no rotors, no rotor wash, or any sign of visible control surfaces like wings. As we started clockwise towards the object, my Wizzo and I decided to go down and take a closer look with the other aircraft staying in high cover to observe both us and the tic-tac. We proceeded around the circle about 90 degrees from the start of our descent, and the object suddenly shifted its longitudinal axis, aligned it with my aircraft, and began to climb. We continued down another 270 degrees. We went nose low to where the tic-tac would have been. Our altitude at this point was about 15,000 feet, and the tic-tac was about 12,000. As we pulled nose onto the object, within about a half mile of it, it rapidly accelerated in front of us and disappeared. Our wingmen, roughly 8,000 feet above us, lost contact also. We immediately turned back to see where the whitewater was at, and it was gone also. So as you started to turn back towards the east, the controller came up and said, "Sir, you're not going to believe this, but that thing is at your cap point roughly 60 miles away in less than a minute."
The third witness was Ryan Graves, and this headline, right?
Und wir müssen jetzt schon wieder Pause machen. Also das ist absolut krass. Wie wenn wir über UFOs, über die Clintons, über einige Verschwörungstheorien uns unterhalten, es fängt an zu stocken und zu hängen und es liegt nicht an dem Internet und das ist eindeutig, hier kann man das sehen. Wahnsinn, ja? Also, wenn wir jetzt über irgendeinen Schwachsinn erzählen, wenn wir über Cardi B erzählen, dann ist ja egal, dann gibt es kein Problem, aber in dem Moment, wenn man anfängt, sich über ernsthafte Sachen zu unterhalten, dann passieren komische Sachen. But anyway, es ist ja halt, es ist absoluter Wahnsinn, dass jetzt auf einmal, das kann nicht gezielt sein, Leute. Es kann nicht gezielt sein. Das ist unmöglich. Ich glaube das nicht für eine Sekunde. Ich glaube das nicht mal für eine Sekunde, dass das nicht gezielt gemacht worden ist. Die Verbindung spinnt. Wahnsinn. Ja, es ist Wahnsinn. Wie die Verbindung spinnt, wenn wir uns über ernsthafte Themen unterhalten. Und wenn es schon klar ist, dass man die Wahrheit weiß. Und wenn man die Wahrheit auch verbreiten möchte, dann sieht man halt, was passiert, ne? Technik spinnt. Und wie ich schon bisher 20 Mal gesagt habe, aber ich weiß ja halt nicht, ob ihr das überhaupt gehört habt. Das passiert jedes Mal. Wenn wir jetzt über Schwachsinn unterhalten würden, dann wird es stundenlang gar kein Problem mit der Verbindung geben. Aber in dem Moment, wo ich sage, das ist ein Theater. Also sicherlich, wenn ich jetzt sagen würde, oh mein Gott, Leute, es gibt Außerirdische und voll die Panik schieben würde, dann würde dieses Video fucking explodieren mit Views und ich werde richtig Cloud sammeln, ja. Aber in dem Moment, wo du sagst, nein, die Regierung verarscht uns einfach, das ist pure Verarschung und ein absolutes Theater kommt bald zustande, dann stockt alles. Ist ja halt einfach so. Sekunde. So. Well. Schreibt in dem Chat, während wir abwarten, eventuell bis die Verbindung besser wird, falls es überhaupt möglich ist. Was ist eure Meinung dazu? Also ich sage, das ist Theaterstück. Habe ich auch gestern und vorgestern gesagt und ich werde es weiterhin sagen. Und wenn wir UFOs im Himmel haben, dann werde ich euch trotzdem weiterhin sagen, dass das einfach Theater ist. Genauso wie die Pandemie. Ist einfach ein Theater. Und ich fand es total lustig, wie er sagt, your masters, eure, Meister, oder, nee, nicht Meister, sondern, Master. Also David Icke ist wirklich krass, der hat's drauf. Und das Ding ist, der erzählt das wirklich seit 35 Jahre schon. Und keiner hat so richtig gehört. Keiner hat gehört, als er über die Pandemie gesprochen hat. Keiner hat gehört, als er im Jahr 1995 über die Zentralisierung gesprochen hat. Jetzt wird alles wahr. Okay, jetzt glauben wir ihm. Gucken wir mal, was passiert. Also irgendwie allerdings verändert sich nicht viel. Ja, wir wissen viel, aber wir machen gar nichts. Also schauen wir mal weiter. Ich habe das Gefühl, dass es jetzt besser wird. Oi. Ah, nein. Ach nee. Unfassbar. Problem mit dem Server. Hallo Full Moon. So gut, jetzt sind wir wieder live. So. Die Matrix, Leute. Die Matrix. Schauen wir uns weiter an, was David Icke zu erzählen hat.
Graves alleges red square and cubes at UFO hearing. He was testifying before the committee, and when Florida Representative Anna Paulina Luna asked him to detail an alleged event that occurred at the Vandenberg Air Force Base in California in 2003, the former military officer said a large group of contractors with the Boeing company was working at a facility site when they observed a very large 100-yard sided red square approach the base from the ocean and hovered at low altitude over one of the large facilities. This object, he said, remained for 45 seconds or so before darting off over the mountains. He went on to claim that another similar event occurred later in the evening, within 24 hours. Of the first sighting. So these.
Das wird nichts. Das ist mir ab jetzt klar. Das wird nichts. Wenn YouTube einmal mit dieser Scheiße startet, dann ist ja vorbei.